Hi, my name is Mika and I'm working on a game called Mushy Score. Mushy Score is a 2D roguelike where you fight against endless waves of enemies and try to get a high score. Upgrade your character with elemental powers and combine them for unique effects. The game is now ready and will be released on March 7. Now that my game is finished, I need to prepare for releasing. Final steps involves a lot of marketing and sending emails to press and YouTubers. This is my first game that I'm releasing, so I don't have that much of following and it will be hard to get attention to the game. One of the selling factors is that the game is open source, so that might grab people's attention. The game is pretty solid and has unique gameplay, but there is anything special about the game. As an indie developer, it is pretty hard to get attention if you have an average game. I could keep improving my game to make it much better, but I would rather release this and start working on something else. Getting attention is always exponential. Before that, you need to slowly grow and wait to get viral. This is kind of a result of algorithm-based social media, but this has been always the case. Popular things will always get more attention and then become even more popular. How I plan to do marketing for the Mushy Score? First, I created a giant list of YouTubers, press outlets and content creators, searched them based on the other giant list of YouTubers and started looking people who play similar games. I also researched press outlets that cover smaller games. After creating the list, I started sending emails. I first sent emails to smaller creators. If they make a video about my game, I can see if there is something critical that I need to fix. And maybe larger YouTubers are interested to check out the game if there is some coverage already. Even if one of the larger YouTubers would cover my game, I think that would improve my wishlist and sales a lot. If you are a YouTuber who would like to cover my game, small or large, send me a message and I can send you a review key. I will also try to create 2 YouTube videos, this one and one that is published on the release date. I will also try to write a couple articles on Steam and itch, and I will try to be more active posting on Mastodon and try to get more posts on Lemmy. I will also try to use different Discord channels to post about my game and talk about open source factors of the game. I think the mistake was using private repository and not doing active commits on Git. I will improve this on my next project. I will also try another engine for my next game. And maybe I have larger audience for open source games. Using Codeberg instead of GitHub gives me less visibility, but I want to avoid GitHub because I don't like how they are Microsoft owned and reading repositories to train their AI. Only using smaller outlets like Mastodon and Lemmy is hurting the potential of the marketing, but sometimes you need to stick to your principles. I would prefer not to use YouTube as well, but currently other video outlets have much smaller reach. TikTok could be also a good outlet, but I don't think it's a good fit for my game and also don't like it as a platform. My goal is to get to Steam's popular upcoming games page, since that improves the number of sales a lot. I failed by joining Steam Next Fest too early and lost another avenue to boost on wishlist numbers. Steam is one of the most important places you get the sales from, and Steam will not promote your game unless you get external traffic. I'm almost through of the process of actually releasing a game, so now I know how to improve my next process. One of the fallbacks is that I try to create games fast and release them in 6 months. This gives little time to build audience for the game, so it is important that I focus on the brand of the company and not a single games. Whole goal of the company is to create small open source games, and I try to keep players as repeat customers. For my next game, I will use directly Codeberg repository instead of private self-hosted repository. This will give people better idea how my game developed, and you will see my amazing comments with 100 file changes with description bugs fixed. I will most likely use Godot for my next game, even though I like to use Monogame. Monogame has smaller audience, and I think Monogame devs like to do things their own way instead of using existing games. Godot will have much more beginner devs that will find open source projects useful. I have about 6 months till my government funds run out, so after that I need to go back to my full-time job or do some contracting. I can probably burn my savings for extra 2 months, but this will give me a hard deadline. Hopefully, together with these games, I have enough money to develop my third game. I hope that Mushy Score generates revenue from 2,000 to 10,000, and more generates more I have for my next game. I will try adding translation to my game, since I don't have a lot of text, but how I wrote the code of the game, it has terrible text editing. I need to add support for translation, and then I need to try to find translator for my game. Games that have translation will sell much better, and since I don't have that much text, I think that would be beneficial. Hopefully I can add that in time. I also need to add endless mode to my game, since currently my game is a bit too easy and most people complete all 3 levels in their first run. I need to add something that keeps them playing or just make the game harder. One player suggested that I will nerf some of the power-ups, but I kinda want to keep player powerful, so maybe I need to make some enemies more challenging. Anyways, I'm super happy to finally release my first game. It is amazing to see the fruits of labor to finally come true. Now when someone asks if I have made any games, I can point them to my Steam page. It was kinda awkward sometimes to be hosting game demo events when I didn't have anything that I had published. I have a lot of knowledge and experience with games, but nothing to show for it. Now I finally have something. This also taught me a lot about the process of releasing a game on Steam and key points that I should keep in mind when creating and releasing my next game. Getting your game out for the people is exciting and scary. If you're working on a game, I recommend releasing something small so you get to know the whole process. After getting my Steam page and game approved, next time isn't that scary anymore. Same with emailing content creators, since most of them will not respond anyway. I think one of the GDT talks put it well. No one cares about your game. Game development is a marathon and not a sprint, and same goes for creating a game studio. Everyone wants to succeed right away, me included, but it is not just realistic. You just need to keep grinding and hope for the best. I am lucky that I'm privileged to have a good education and that way a job security. Even if this doesn't work out, I can always go back to my normal job, and in the end I can say to myself, at least I tried. This has been always my dream, and if I never tried, I would regret it for the rest of my life. Thank you everyone who is part of this journey and listening my rambling. If you want to help the game succeed, go and wishlist it on Steam. Hope you enjoyed the video and see you in the next one.